a crazy way to end the pay-per-view. Bell to bell insanity. And that Elite Deletion match was better than it should have been. This is Full Gear, and it was crazy. G-Dog helped me out here, because I'm having a hard time finding words to even describe the feeling for this. But you're better at articulating, so go ahead.
I think that this pay-per-view was good, maybe best. I can't even articulate, dude. This was unbelievable. This was easily the best show of the year, I think, across any of the major promotions.
Some may argue Royal Rumble, and we just talked about it. You know what? Royal Rumble's a gimmick match, and even the worst Royal Rumbles are still pretty good.
Yeah.
This was just straight up, like I said, bell to bell insanity. Great matches alike.
I think that, like, from top to bottom, this was the best pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah.
It gave you a lot of things that you knew were going to happen. A lot of things that you predicted.
If you want to argue not this year, definitely the COVID era.
No, for sure. But it gave you a lot of things that, like, you probably knew were coming.
Yeah.
But you wanted to see them.
Yeah, so
you knew they were coming because you
wanted
them.
Wasn't that the whole point? Wrestling fans want their voices to be heard, so when you know something's coming, it's like, yeah, I knew it. I was smart.
Predictable booking. I don't like it.
See, that's the thing. People are back and forth, but we open up with Paige and Omega, a way to kick off the show. Well, I guess
we started with a buy-in. You chinked up right now. Hold your horses.
No one cares about a buy-in. I'm sorry. I'm saying it's 2020. Buy-ins are why.
I'm sorry, but when the buy-in featured the NWA Women's title, we had Serena Deeb defending against Allison Kay, and a great match back and forth. Everything was fantastic.
Plus, I wasn't here, so.
But then Thunder Rosa appeared. And it's clear that she will be going back after the NWA Women's title from Serena Deeb.
If she would have been in this match, I would have talked about it. Serena Deeb's great, but Thunder Rosa is excellent.
She is the best in the business.
But I just wanted to skip that just because, oh my God, there's just
too much to talk
about.
I refuse
There's too much to talk about. Now let's get back to the real deal, the Full Gear.
Get Bobby Roode out here and do some real wrestling.
Paige and Omega, man. Keep on the page. Come on, man. Wow, you will see through the night, they loved ramp spots.
Yeah.
It was rampant.
It was rampant on tonight's card. Yeah, no, they used that to full effect. Kenny came out to his new entrance with Justin Roberts, where he is listing off all of these acolytes and all this, and whatnot. And the cleaner girls came out sweeping the brooms. And then he came out with a brand new jacket on. He looked amazing, just like all ready to go.
Version 3 figures coming soon.
Dude, he looked, it was toyable.
It'll be for his next toy.
Oh, it looked great.
Yeah.
And then Hangman came out, man. He's got generic cowboy music, but the best generic cowboy music in the game.
It's definitely like the cowboy song in like every Western.
If you could put some lyrics behind it, like, I think you could do something with it. Like, make it a little bit.
Drunk. Like,
wouldn't it be great if he came out to Big Iron? If they got the rights to Big Iron and like he came out to that.
Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Oh my God. It doesn't have to be that dark.
Because, great spots in this match. I don't think this was a 5 out of 5 match. No. But G-Dog has said this is just one of probably many encounters between them because the plot will thicken and we will get eventually Omega probably champion and then him Hangman.
Yeah,
that's
this
the logical. That's what we're building towards.
If we're talking about long-term storytelling, like this is far from over. This has been going pretty much since Dynamite kicked off, more or less, and it will continue to go. Yep. And I can't wait to see where it goes. We didn't even mention that Don Callis, the executive vice president of Impact Wrestling, was on commentary for this match,
and he was great.
He was amazing.
The commentary throughout the whole night was fantastic.
Unbelievable. JR, who is sometimes very hit or miss.
It's very easy to make fun of him.
Well, if he doesn't have to worry about throwing it to picture-in-picture, I guess, he's good to go.
I think sometimes he thinks about the picture-in-picture so much.
He thinks about it all match long.
Yeah, that he's like...
Maybe they should just have Tony handle that.
Sometimes he gets a little flustered and flabbergasted. He's like, oh no, I for the picture-in-picture. Like, yeah, but... Kenny went over
with the one-winged angel. Although they did kind of set it up, I thought the kick-out might come.
Because I've seen wrestling.
Yeah, I've seen wrestling.
I'm a wrestling fan! And I will say, They got me on this one. I was like, they got me.
Yeah, because then the finish happens and you're like,
oh, it's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Respectable. I mean, what can I say?
After that, we had Orange Cassidy versus John Silver.
Long John Silver.
I
hope he comes
John
out.
Silver.
I hope he comes out as like a boat captain one day.
That would be funny.
Like full on Long John Silver. Like he literally he's throwing fish sticks into the crowd instead of pancakes.
That would be
like I could see
crazy.
that happening though. Couldn't you?
I mean, I could, I suppose, with like yellow like slicker on.
That's what I'm saying, like, with the big yellow rubber boots.
After the Dark Order has like disintegrated, he is just Long John Silver.
Yep. And he comes out with a hook for a hand because it got cut off. AEW. But so this,
I kind of love that.
He could come out kind of be like a little pirate.
So this was easily the quote unquote
kind of
worst
bathroom
match
break.
of the night.
They gave you
It was the bathroom break.
They gave you the bathroom break half an hour into this almost like 3.5 hour show. Yeah. Almost 4 hours if you count the buy-in.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
A really long pay-per-view.
But very worth your money. Anyone who was sitting, and you were saying you had some coworkers who were like, "Oh, I don't want to spend."
Hey,
the
don't
money
make fun of them because $50 is a lot for some people. You know,
absolutely.
Hey, breaking the bank sometimes.
Money is tight around here, and I still spent
Capital
it, and I don't
Wrestling
regret a single bit.
Is looking nice, and we're breaking the bank for it just for you folk. But yeah, man, I mean, $50, it's so worth it. But yeah, this was like considered, I would say, like the bathroom break of the night.
This was a match still set up to make John Silver look great.
Yeah, I don't like, I don't really like him, but I don't watch Being the Elite, and I hear that's where he really shines.
He does.
So, I used to watch it, don't anymore. But yeah, tonight I was like, damn, for somebody who's like 5'4", 5'5", maybe, he's fucking huge. He's jacked.
Absolutely.
And then he was just throwing Cassidy around. I mean, he beat Cassidy's ass. This wasn't really a back and forth.
No,
Cassidy still went over.
Yep, Cassidy ended up going over. He ended up pulling the win out in the end. But this was set up to make John Silver look great.
I almost think Silver needed the win.
I don't.
Because where's Orange trending to right now?
I think now he's trending to eventually a one-on-one feud with Miro or a one-on-one feud with Penelope Ford based on what we see later in the night. You never know what's going to happen.
Can you see Orange going for the world title?
World title? No, I can't ever see
Not
him
against
going
Moxley.
To the world
Maybe
title.
against Omega.
Possibly.
I think that would be way more like, that would.
I think they could work a really nice match.
Yeah. They might be able to.
I'm not saying him and Mox couldn't, but I think Omega and him would kind of be very dynamic. Because I think Kenny could allow him to
kind of be the goofy
have
little...
some of those goofy moments and then whip his ass.
Because Moxley would be straight up murder.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
So, okay, I like that.
We have Darby... Which, and by the way, the segments before these matches, the promos, the build-up, the hype packages,
amazing
are
tonight.
So good.
Yeah, and WWE I think has always had the best in the business on those.
Yeah,
but I mean, and even today, that is still one of their strongest suits. They sometimes can make storylines that make no sense. All make sense in 45 seconds to a minute with a great tied together promo.
Rewriting history. Nice.
Exactly. But the
I
AEW team,
that was odd.
Yeah, no, that was. Did you just get an ESPN update as well?
I did not.
I got Falcons doubt Calvin Ridley will be able to play tomorrow. That's just yet another member of my team going down, including AEW renowned fan George Kittle, who got a shout out on Dynamite this week.
So
out for 8 weeks.
Had Darby Allin,
ankles broken,
and we had the Prince of Wrestling, Cody Rhodes. He did the motherfucking swerve on us. He said, "I'm not gonna use it," and then guess what? He abused it.
Oh,
this man came back, and he's Cody Rhodes now.
He's Cody Rhodes.
And I was thinking about it today. I heard it on a podcast. Jim Cornette. But they were talking about how Cody just doesn't pass the name test.
Yeah,
Cody alone is the
itself.
worst.
How is Trent 10 times better than it?
John Moxley.
Trent is so much better
John Moxley
than just Cody.
versus Trent. John Moxley versus Cody.
It just doesn't. But Cody Rhodes matters.
It
means something.
And like you said it, This dude's huge now.
Dude, giant.
I believe that he put on 14 pounds of muscle.
Absolutely, dude. When they say,
big.
You question the weights a lot at the time, but when they say that he's like 220 something right now, he looks like it.
When he's like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, he's tall boy. You've seen him in person. He's thick boy.
He did brush shoulders with Brother D's greatness, and that's why he's on AEW.
So Darby Allin came out not by himself. He came out on top of a car that had been spray painted. It was similar to the car that he had driven in the promo on this week's Dynamite. Yep.
Yeah.
And his buddy is driving it, and he's on top of it.
An alleged buddy.
He's got a skateboard that says the face of TNT on it. And he smashes the window. And
I'm thinking, wait, aren't you the face of Dynamite? You're the face of all of TNT now?
I mean, that's what holding the TNT title means.
Are we going to pull a Thunder Rosa and put his picture on the TNT title?
I would like that.
He's the literal face of TNT.
And then Cody comes out with the best theme song in the business. And the entourage of the 9 people in the Nightmare Family these days. You got
Dustin, QT,
Dopey, Sleepy, Bashful, and Doc Samson, who was sitting at ringside.
Doc was there. He was very involved tonight. Good
Doc
for Doc.
Samson was very involved, and we'll get to that later.
He got shouted out. But yeah, man, so that's an important part kind of to remember. Put that in the back of your head. Cody comes out with all of these guys. Darby comes with a buddy, but the buddy just left and leaves the car there. We'll get into that. But man, I would say this is pretty much an instant classic. 4 out of 5. How can you not?
And we kind of brought up as we were watching, we felt this was better than Omega and Hangman, but a lot of that stems from the fact that Omega and Hangman
there was so much
expectation. They had an amazing match.
I mean, people call it the best storyline in the business. So when you have that title, and it's very hard to put on a match, but it was still fucking good. And like you say, it's one of many.
To come.
It's a Sheamus Cesaro 5 out of 7 best series.
That
was actually kind of a good idea.
But
if they did that in real,
Hangman and Omega become a tag team again at the end of all of this.
Possibly.
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
Oh, man.
No more for copyright purposes. But then, we had this amazing back and forth match between Cody and Darby. And Darby he is a true homegrown AEW talent at this point. Like, he is a guy that has gotten
I saw
big
somebody
over
say
AEW.
that he is the first non-WWE champion. Or wait, no, he was the first. Yeah, the first.
Way to be a spoiler alert.
Well, who? Yeah, you didn't watch the show before listening to us.
Hey, what if?
No.
What if there's one guy out there right now? If you are the guy that's out there right now, please contact us at Sell It Wrestling. You already knew that.
But you won't.
Because you're a great big wrestling fan.
Yeah, man, we just had we had hammerlock throws off the top rope to Darby. Cody hits him with an avalanche crossroads.
That was amazing.
It was sick. And
off
he does this big ass roll, goes for the pin. 1, 2, wait. His arm is under the rope.
He doesn't even reach up to grab it. He doesn't even they protected
he couldn't
that
muster
move.
The strength,
It was really smart.
And
that's
man.
just stuff that you don't see from the other big evil company out there, do you? You just don't see smart booking
it's
like that.
It's not good shit.
It's not good shit apparently.
And then for the pin here, the final little act,
the final segment, the final sequence, if you will.
Yes, there you go. That's a good term. They're just kind of rolling around, and Darby kind of gets just this momentum on him out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, it's over.
They're hitting false pin after false pin. 1, 2, 1, 2, rolling 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're like, oh shit, and then Darby just carries the momentum. He gets a 3 count. It was very innovative. I popped hard because I was like,
Speaking of innovative, when he used Cody's belt to sweep the legs out from under him.
Yeah, lots of stuff in this match.
Hey, wait, isn't that a foreign object, though? I always question, can you use jackets and clothing? Is that?
I mean, Cody does wear that during the course of his match.
That's what I'm saying.
Long as you're not
and
beating
people
him
always
with
hit people with jackets, I feel like.
It does happen.
I'm like, are clothing not considered foreign objects because it's on the person? Could I take off my shoe and just... Somebody got beat with a shoe and Dynamite.
Remember, it was a glove. Someone got beat with someone else's glove recently, and you're like, isn't that foreign object? I'm like, it wasn't when it was on their hand.
But it left the hand. I guess it's foreign now.
Yeah.
We had
So,
Taz.
yeah, Darby ends up going over, and you're like, holy shit. Like, we finally have, and like, Cody, we kind of thought during the course of this match we might get a heel turn because Cody was doing some devilish stuff.
Push-ups, kind of flexing.
Yeah, he was doing like over-the-top heelish stuff.
What an ass.
But then at the end, he puts the title on Darby's shoulders and he raises it up, and you still kind of in the back of your head are like, oh, is he gonna hit him here? Are we gonna get a crossroads at the end of this? And then all of a sudden, the big Brooklyn brawler himself, Taz, he comes flying out. And he's talking about both of them. He's talking about how this is all a bunch of bullshit, and we don't need this. We don't want to see this.
He said, like, are you crying right now? Like,
yeah, like suck it up.
Act like you've been here before, but you've never been. Yeah, like, God damn it, I love Taz.
Taz is the best.
Yeah,
and he gets them both focused in on him, and then all of a sudden, here come Brian Cage and the Stroke Daddy, Ricky Starks.
Yeah, he is.
They hit the ring.
Yeah.
And they beat the crap.
And
but as you pointed out, what happened with Ricky Starks?
Yeah, so Brian Cage goes in. He, slides under the ropes, and Ricky Starks goes into the ring. But then all of a sudden he goes out and he kind of runs around the ring for a second. And I'm like, well, why did he delay going in? They show it because he attacked Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Doc Samson was first mentioned, I believe.
Yeah,
they were
the first of many mentions from Mr. Doc Samson.
He's attending to Aaron. God damn it, Aaron. You cause more problems than not, it seems.
Yeah, he's eventually going to get taken out permanently.
Yeah,
it's
probably.
Not gonna be good.
We had Ricky Starks and Brian Cage pretty much just beat the shit out of both of them.
And they brawl out of the ring. They get thrown
Darby
into set
Allin.
pieces. Darby Allin's taking Darby Allin bumps.
Yeah. Cody's getting beat up. And then this is where I go, hey, wait, wasn't there 9 people that came out with it? What's the point of having an entourage if they don't help you?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh, yeah, because they were backstage having a promo segment. We'll talk
they
about
were getting
that.
ready. QT and Dustin were doing their push-ups to look as big and strong as possible for their promo at the end of this match.
Yeah.
So we end up getting Darby dragged over to his car that was driven in.
I guess the homie just left. He
was probably watching, and he's like, I don't want none of that
he
smoke.
said, I'm going home.
He's taking an Uber.
Yeah.
And they lay Darby Allin out like they are going to break his arm in the car door.
And I was thinking, he's going to take it.
Yeah, because he's Darby Allin, and he will take stuff like that. But then Will Hobbs comes out of nowhere with a chair. He clears Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, and we clearly haven't seen the end of that. I like that this is a big feud going on. Now it involves the Nightmare family.
I'm sure next week Taz will say, Will Hobbs, I'll still give you a chance. Are you trying to join my group or not? Because he's done that every week, even though they've continued to save Darby has saved him and vice versa and whatever. And then we had the QT Dustin promo.
Yep. QT was just talking about how Allie is trash. The bunny can get bent.
Nice.
And then Dustin comes in, and he just has a fiery promo. And he challenges the Butcher and the Blade are going to wrestle those two in a bunkhouse match on this week's Dynamite.
What?
Yeah, old school 80s, 90s. I'm not sure how they're going to carry the rules and what it's going to be. The only bunkhouse matches I've ever seen involve Dustin Rhodes, actually. And they're on a truck trailer, a trailer
there was that
bed.
WWF one, the really bad one, the hay bale one.
I don't know. Was that called a bunkhouse match?
It probably wasn't called a bunkhouse match because I'm sure it was copyrighted at that time by Dusty.
That might not be the same thing.
And then, they announced right after this Penta and Ray 2 for next week.
Yep. I think they had didn't they announce that on Dynamite last week?
They did announce it, but this was the little breakdown of here's what to watch this week.
That's going to be so good.
And you had mentioned, why? We don't care. We're glad to see it again, but
I'm
why?
not complaining.
And my conclusion is that, oh, well, maybe it's because he hurt him and then he took away his chance to move on in the tournament. So he kind of wants to give him another, hey, let's go around again.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. Tay Conti. Yeah, I don't even know. Her and Anna Jay will be facing. Well, I guess it's a singles action, but Anna Jay will be with her. And then Red Velvet.
Yeah, with Brandy Rhodes. I think Red Velvet's going to be a new project they're going to try and get over, which, More power to you.
She's like 0-22.
We then saw in the next match the women's division represented as we had Hikaru Shida defending her title against Nyla Rose. This
could also be a bathroom break match.
Yeah, this was a good match. But it was
honestly,
just boring at
I
points,
can't really.
But I can't fault these two. They did like everything that they could do, and
besides,
they're both great in the ring.
And silver, I can't really complain about any match, like this one included.
No.
Like, I think even this one, I was like, oh, it's a good back and forth.
Yep.
Like, Nyla looked good.
Nyla was dressed as Mega Man, which I thought was awesome. Her gear is
Shida
super
looked
cool.
good. Shida goes over.
Doesn't that make you more convinced that her normal gear is the Dark Brotherhood inspired? Because she's like clearly a big video game fan.
I think it is. She still had the handprint on.
Yeah,
too,
that's pretty cool.
At the very end of the match, we kind of see this little like deal between Vicky and Nyla, where Vicky's like screaming at her. And then, did Nyla slap her?
No, Vicky slapped Nyla.
Really? Because Vicky was like holding her face.
No, Vicky slapped Nyla.
I looked away for a
second.
They walked
okay.
Away.
Yep. So now Nyla, after losing, is just kind of going to be like a beaten down animal, and she's gonna. I'm kind of excited to see where that goes because that's a different take on it. It's a different dynamic.
It's like the Jey Uso kind of story,
kinda. Although that's not like a family thing. It's just like I have embarrassed like my business associate.
Yeah, I get it's not a family thing, but it's kind of like the Game of Thrones reek.
Basically, it is reek. I mean, it could be. That would be a very interesting route to go.
I kind of had said to Brother G, I said, I've never really seen what? Is there something going on?
Yeah.
Is there a spider behind me again?
No.
Then what?
Nothing.
Spooky. Is there a rat?
No, nothing here in the Capital Wrestling Cellar. It's all fine.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, man. You made me lose my train of thought. I think it'd be interesting if we kind of saw a manager like who abuses, and now I'm not talking about like man on woman. That's none of that.
No.
But like, what about Vicky kind of abuses Nyla, and Nyla just takes it, like she just doesn't care. If she can somehow keep booking her matches to win.
Yeah, it somehow motivates her to win because she doesn't want to let her
We've never
down.
really seen like that father complex in like all the movies, there's always like the abusive father who's always pushing the son to do everything like, you must be better.
Uh-huh.
What is going on over there?
I can't say.
Facilities.
Oh my God. So, overall, it was okay. It was good. It was decent. The women's division just needs a kick in the ass, man. It really does. It needs Thunder Rosa and it needs Tessa Blanchard.
Whoa. Hot take.
Yeah, it does.
Hot take. Wow.
It might be controversial. After this, we had the match that I was kind of the most skeptical of. Let's be honest. When you're looking at this card, it was the match that you're kind of like, oh my God, what are we doing here with this? And oh my heavens, did this turn out to be the biggest surprise, maybe of the night?
I mean, okay, here's the deal. Was it really a surprise that this match was going to be something special?
I'm sorry, wait, hold on. I was talking about the Elite Deletion match. I had moved past the Young Bucks.
So you can remember the buy-in match.
No, I just moved past it in the notes.
Yeah.
I scrolled past it, so I just had Nyla, and then boom.
You bastard.
But most of what I just said does hold true because the build-up over the past couple of weeks has not been that great for this match.
I mean, even FTR and Young Bucks, I'm pretty sure, have come out and said, like,
yeah,
it sucks. We're sorry.
But it does have 5 years of story behind it. It does have all this, F the revival. Like, fuck the revival. That has been a thing that has been going on for years. So it's got all of that.
Is that really, like, build-up, though, per se, or just one-sided of, like, yeah, fuck you guys, like...
I mean, hey, like, FTR is like, we left that other company for this match, so let's make it happen. So
they left that other company because of those outfits, dog.
Yeah, those outfits.
Once they saw those outfits,
brutal.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's impossible. You obviously know what I'm talking about. You're the smartest audience in the world, but it's like...
And you're a big wrestling fan!
You are, just like we are. That's why, that's why I actually enjoyed FTR Bucks. I usually don't like the Bucks. Matt Jackson was wrestling on, like, his MCL and ACL are both, like, thinning and ripped, and so he didn't really get much action. He did though, but Nick really did most of the wrestling.
Nick did the heavy lifting, and
then FTR just started bumping their asses off.
But then, what I absolutely loved was they eventually get Matt into the ring, and they just cut the ring off for the longest time, and they are wrestling so amazingly old school, and they are making sure he cannot get Nick, and we are building up for this huge Nick hot tag at one point, and they are just wrenching on Matt's injured leg, and they're beating him down, and then Nick gets the hot tag, and he comes in, and he's clearing house, and you're just like, oh my heavens, what is happening? And Dax Hardwood got a cut on his hand, and he had to have, this was another appearance by Doc Sampson where he had to have him come over.
I question, like, where did this cut come from?
I'm not sure. It happened like pretty early in the match. And then, it was just unbelievable.
My theory, it came from maybe the ring rope.
Possibly.
Maybe he was gripping it, something happened.
And Cash Wheeler, dude, was just spearing everyone in this match, throwing his body around like
that dude was
dart.
taking bumps out to the mat, just like straight up.
It was unbelievable.
This dude was fucking going everywhere, and I was just like,
and it was really showing that, like, their whole thing is no flips, just fists, whatever. And they clearly were doing whatever it took to win this match. They were like, we're going to beat you at your own game. Until they didn't. Because we obviously had the finish of this match. It was amazing. Cash Wheeler goes to hit a 450 splash onto Matt Jackson. He rolls out of the way and misses, pops up, gets super kicked. 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks are now the World Tag Team Champions. It was maybe the one thing I really didn't know if was going to happen on the card tonight, where I was like, what the hell? But, oh, man, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
A lot of people said that with the involvement of the not having to ever challenge for the titles again if they lose, I just think that was kind of like a telltale sign of they'll probably win. I know they did it with Cody. Yeah. Obviously.
He clearly didn't win.
But who knows? Maybe Cody Rhodes could challenge. No, apparently he's come out and said that he won't do that. But
he also said that he wasn't going to use the name. So.
Yeah, so fuck
the
us.
Man is a liar.
We're getting worked. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, man, just overall this match, yeah. I mean, what can I say? I mean, match of the night? Question mark?
Yeah.
Besides Elite Deletion, as we will get into that, because that was like the creme de la creme, the sauce of the sauce.
I can't wait to go back and rewatch that. But yeah, if we're talking like pure in-ring wrestling, this was the match of the night. This had storytelling. This had intrigue.
So you're not even gonna mention it, huh? FTR hitting DIY and Excalibur mentioning
that was
DIY
so crazy.
On AEW pay-per-view.
That was crazy. Yeah, they hit
Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, AEW confirmed. The All Authority.
It basically felt like
Ollie
that.
Davis. Thank you.
Basically felt like that. Like it was this harkening back to this amazing time in the Revival's career. That was around the time that the Revival became a thing, was during the feud with DIY, where it was like, oh, these guys are lighting the world on
these
fire.
Guys are actually good, and we feel threatened. Strike.
And so this was amazing. This was easily the best. If this comes out, if old Davey Meltzer gives this a 5-star rating,
I'd still question it, but I'd be like,
yeah, come on.
5 out of 5 was what was it? The Young Bucks Kenny
and we knew that watching it, because that was unreal. That was the last big pay-per-view they had that had fans, and you could just feel it in the air.
This was just so great in a different way.
Yeah.
Because they really had to kind of go to the Matt style of FTR. They still obviously did a lot of high flips.
I mean, it led to FTR doing the flips. Yeah. It was crazy.
And what was the name of that move? The Mind Bender?
The Mind Bender. Yeah.
That is sick.
Or Mind Breaker?
Mind Breaker, probably.
Mind Breaker.
I like the Bender, though.
Might have been the Mind Bender.
I'll accept it. Now let's get this shit out of here, and let's get into Sammy and Compound Hardy, because oh my god, this was
the Elite Deletion.
I mean,
the most absolutely insane affair I have seen in so long. Now a lot of people are
besides
A lot of people are going to get pissy and be like, this was just a knockoff of the better broken.
Hold on, there might be some reverb if you keep screaming. I
can't help it. I'm being enthusiastic.
But what was it? So what were you even saying right there? You just went.
What was the name of the
Stadium Stampede?
No, not the Stadium Stampede. You fuck the original cinematic match.
The Hardy Compound match?
No, it wasn't called the Hardy Compound match.
Well, you can't even come up with it. You're
was
acting
called
all
the broken.
smug about it.
Was it called the Broken Deletion?
You got a computer in front of you, jackass.
I'm asking you because you're apparently the smartest in all of wrestling.
No, that's the audience, you idiot.
Oh yeah, you're right.
My goodness. Hey man, now Sammy rolls up in the go-kart, Spanish God, Sammy Guevara.
The golf cart,
and he runs over this toy truck.
Yeah, it was a toy monster truck that was just chilling in the yard.
Well, that's odd. Huh. He gets there, and Neo is there, the drone.
The final deletion.
Yeah,
clearly, I couldn't remember because, that doesn't make any sense because this was another deletion.
Oh, well, that's the Elite Deletion. I still don't know why the Elite name is there. Yeah, man, we had Neo the drone, and he shuts down the go-kart.
The golf cart. You refuse to accept what its primary purpose is. It's not a Sammy Guevara transportation device.
Why did when it shut down? Hey, calm down. But
did you see he was on the golf course when all the news broke?
Of course he was. But anyway. Why did he hit the roof when the golf cart shut down? He was like,
why is this thing working?
Is the battery up there?
Let me tap the plastic roof.
We get Projection Hardy, and he comes.
Projection Hardy.
I don't even know what he was saying. He was just like, oh!
He was just speaking in his typical Matt Hardy, just like.
Then he pulls up in the monster truck
called the Straight Jacket,
and he's like,
"It was a monster truck called the Straight Jacket."
What is he? He said something along the lines of "This is orgasmic." I was like, oh my god. Right there, I knew it was going to be ridiculous. He then fucking runs over the golf cart. I always have to pause now and think about it. I want to call it a go-kart. But then
he delivers the line of the match after that, where he gets he slides out of the monster truck. Cool. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And then he walks over to this destroyed golf cart, and he's just like, "This is a squash match."
Damn it, Matt. Damn it.
So Sammy comes out, and they start brawling, man. And Matt Hardy has a beautiful amount of property. Just a lovely,
very scary there,
lovely area.
I mean,
this was filmed at night.
If I was in North Kakalaki, I would not like to get caught in a place like that.
No, absolutely not. But they are brawling through the trees, and
for an outside match too, the brawling was pretty decent.
It was really good. And they end up getting to a ring
where the final deletion was.
I
think they just have these rings sitting up all the time.
This is Matt Hardy's area. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. And all the lights are set up, and they start brawling in the ring, and they're doing all this, and then Santana and Ortiz show up.
Yeah.
And they start beating down Matt Hardy. And then Matt Hardy is able to get a walkie-talkie from underneath the ring. And prior to
I believe that's what he said in the projection. He said, I have friends who will help.
Because he was on the phone earlier in the match, saying, "Hey, we might need you." So he walked.
Who could it be?
To Private Party.
No, Private Hardy and Private Party.
And they are like, "Oh yeah, bro, we'll be there." They're sitting in their car.
They're literally at the front of the compound. They'd already seen the monster truck run over the.
And it took them 45 minutes to. It took them 45 minutes to drive there.
Wait, no.
Matt Hardy was just getting beat
They didn't drive to the ring. They hopped out of their car and ran to it. Remember?
It did, okay, we can't go any further than this.
What?
But maybe because it was through the trees.
Yeah.
They couldn't drive through trees.
You don't think there's a driveway up to his fucking place all the way from there? You have to get out of the car.
I highly doubt it.
There's a big parking lot at the beginning of his place. We get the spot of the match. They start shooting fireworks at each other. Firework Hardy and Sammy Guevara.
And in the final deletion, they shot fireworks at one another, but not nearly like this. This was unbelievable. This was like a war movie.
I think like the ones they used were kind of more like bottle-like rockets more.
They were still like full-on like these Roman candle-like style ones, but these ones were just over the top.
One, did they do the final deletion at night? They did it at night. Yeah. I just think the filming
was just on a smaller budget.
The filming was just so much.
Or that was on a smaller budget,
Yeah, the filming tonight just made it perfect. When they were shooting the fireworks at each other.
The shot from behind of Matt Hardy shooting it, like with it was like a painting.
If somebody paints that would be wonderful. But I was thinking, damn.
Wonderful.
He is ballsy to be shooting all those into his trees. Yeah, I know it's dry down there.
Oh, for sure.
So those trees,
they were all pine needles.
Those trees catch fire.
We're done. We're absolutely done.
I think that's what they wanted.
Insurance.
Uh-oh. Insurance Hardy.
Insurance Hardy.
Oh
Insurance scam Hardy.
We get to a point where Sammy's just rolling in the mud and Matt is just pew, pew, like just shooting him like 10 feet away.
Like so
like
close.
Face shots. So, like,
it's amazing.
And then he's like, I'm gonna purify you.
And then we're right by the water that was again in the final deletion.
I couldn't even see it. It was so.
And you're like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden,
like this masked hooded man is like, you better not do that. I don't even know what the hell he was saying.
And he had the hurricane with him. And you're like, wait, what?
That's Hurricane Helms. Like, and named, referenced everything.
And then he pulled it off and it's Gangrel.
What?
And I'm like, this is I was like kind of like my spirit was leaving my body at that point. Because I was like, this is the craziest shit I have seen in quite some time. But you know what was great? It was great. It wasn't stupid. It was fucking hilarious pretty much the whole way through. And then Sammy Guevara ends up getting there.
You totally missed the two lines. When he was rolling around the mud, he said, "This is a mud show," which is just a mud show. Oh my God, it's a classic. And then he said, what did he say? He said, "This is long-term storybooking."
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Oh, well, sorry, bud.
He was getting to the long-term storytelling with Gangrel and Hurricane Helms because they had been in one of the previous cinematic matches.
Dude, this was just the most insane thing I've ever watched. And we're not even halfway through.
We're not even halfway through this match. Unbelievable. Then we had like Sammy, the Hurricane gets free from his restraints and him and Sammy are brawling. And then he throws the Hurricane off screen. Sammy turns his attention back to Matt Hardy. Then we have Hurricane Helms in his interviewer outfit, and he's asking Sammy some questions. What did he say?
He was like, "Why do you like suck so much?" Like, I don't even know what he said.
He just asked typical like, "Hey, what's up with that?"
Probably.
And then got thrown promptly into the lake.
And it was literally like, he was like acting like he was drowning.
He was drowning in about 2 feet of water.
No, not even 2 feet.
6 inches?
His butt was literally touching the ground, and his face, like his whole upper body was out of it. But he was just like, oh! I was just like, this is insanity. And it breaks down to a 6-man like tag match almost, but just
because we keep cutting back to Private Party, Santana, and Ortiz. Because by the way, you keep forgetting they're involved in this match now too.
Yeah, it's just a full fucking brawl. You'd think they'd just be like, "We're out."
It's an 8-man tag at that point because Gangrel was teaming up with Santana and Ortiz.
Oh my goodness,
it was an 8-man like tag without the tags, and like just 2 men were involved, and this was just wild shit. And then we end up brawling down to, what did they call it?
The Dome of Deletion.
And then the music changed.
So, yeah, they roll into the Dome.
Which was basically just a big garage.
And
it was a cool garage.
Yeah. He was like, "Neo, close the door." So the door closes. And I guess there was never mind. They got it right. Don't worry about it. But, yeah, there's like a piano in here. There's a coffin. There's a wrestling ring.
I think these are all references to old...
The final deletion, I believe.
Just Broken Universe stuff, like, completely. Yeah. Like, these are all Easter eggs for... This was their...
Which I like how he was Matthew Hardy, but now he's kind of back to...
Yeah, he's just whatever he wants to be now. This was their Firefly Funhouse. Like this, Firefly Funhouse is one of the best things WWE does because they do all these different layers and all these different like
Was
little
this better
things.
than Stadium Stampede? I think I'd have to watch them back to back.
I gotta watch both. We should watch both of them tomorrow.
But I think this was so good.
That was so amazing. And then like there was a ring in the Dome of Deletion.
Dome of Deletion.
And there was a giant ladder in that ring.
At least like 10, 15 feet. That was
Sammy ended up hitting a swanton bomb off of it onto Matt Hardy through the table. And you're just like, well, this is unbelievable in every way, shape, and form.
Yep.
And then we got
Sammy had like taken the ring ropes off.
Yeah, he took the ring ropes off,
which was like really cool, and he was hitting them with the metal part. Some of the camera angles were bad.
Some of them were good.
You could like clearly see like, yeah, he's covering the metal part, whatever. So since there were no ropes, there was some tables outside, and Spear Hardy hits a spear. Because there were no ropes, which that was so cool looking for some odd reason.
Yeah, it was just the top rope was the only one on.
And we get fake blood at this. I believe to be fake blood.
It was fake blood. It was pouring out of his head,
so
but it was fake blood.
He slams down to the like concrete. It's pretty much payback for what he did to him at what?
All Out.
All Out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was a full on like
because then we had
full circle deletion.
Fucking stiff chair shot. That he did put his hand over it, but that time I was like, oh, it still looked like that fucking hurt.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I think is payback for when he got hit in the chair.
I think so.
We were just really like, hey, let's just bury all of this now.
This was a full circle show. Yeah. This was, and if this
There's
was the final nail,
then
this was fantastic.
Yep.
So Matt ends up going over. And then Private Party is let back into the
That's where
dome.
I was going to say, wait, how did they get in? But he literally said, like, open the doors.
And then they bring a trash can and they just shove Sammy Guevara into the trash can and then load him up in a truck and take him away.
Who's driving the truck?
Senor Benjamin.
The crowd pops so hard.
Let's talk about the crowd tonight because this was the best crowd since COVID. It was the biggest crowd that an American wrestling show has had since COVID started, and it was easily the best crowd. I would argue almost
against almost across any sport.
Well, no.
Oh, I guess the
NFL has had like 15,000 at some shows, like because they're socially distancing properly somehow.
When you have a stadium that's like
60,000, 70,000 can fit in it. Yeah, you can do things with that you can't in a place
more than
like
a Vikings game. Oof. And that's on a season that the fans could come. No. Yeah, man. I mean, if you want to just talk about, like, spectacle of the night, like, the thing that I enjoyed the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably this. I mean, I know Cornette literally probably had a heart attack.
Who fucking cares?
But who knows? Maybe he will like it. Sometimes he likes odd... I don't know. I thought it was great.
I'll be interested to hear.
I'll be very interested to hear. We had a promo, one of like the only promos, one of two, of Archer and Jake the Snake.
Yep.
Jake the Snake's obviously, if you've read, not in good health currently.
Yep, he's dealing with some stuff.
He said, don't ever smoke cigarettes. If that's the one thing to not do in your life, don't do that. So.
And I mean, but I could get such a cool raspy voice like he had.
When you really think about it, it's amazing that he's still around.
Yeah, I think about that and Scott Hall all the time. I'm like,
that DDP yoga.
Man. Yeah, it really is.
That must be the fucking key to a successful life.
Not a sponsor, but sign up now and get
and my bad.
0%
it's just
off
called
by using
DDPY now.
Get 0% off using promo code SELLIT when you sign up today.
Pretty much Archer said everybody is gonna die.
He cut a typical Archer promo,
I'm sorry.
but you know what? I like him.
I miss the beard though.
I do miss the beard.
The new beard is just a little like, I don't know. It's like the Triple H chops, but just not as choppy. So
yeah, but I love that they've like kept him going, and like, you know, a lot of times what happens in like some of the other companies, they're not though. He's still
lost
around.
All those matches. He's buried.
He's still doing the damn thing.
Like fuck off.
Yeah.
MJF Jericho as the co-main event.
And you thought like maybe this is kind of strange placing to have as the co-main event, but this was such a fun match, man.
It was a classic. This is like what Jericho should be doing. And MJF was really showing off. He was hitting all the Jericho moves, the Lion Salt, the Code Breaker.
He even came out wearing an MJF like robe, but it had lights, and he did
cool.
He did the Jericho.
Lights were
so
a little
cool.
dim looking, unfortunately, but
fine.
hey. So one time Jericho's whole like half side of his jacket shut off, so
this is true.
I think at WrestleMania, wasn't it?
I believe it was at WrestleMania.
Dude, that sucks. The one spot, but this was fucking full gear pay-per-view of 2020.
This was the pay-per-view of 2020.
And I mean, I knew this match was going to be good, but MJF, man, I mean, my God, is this dude just like world champion in like a year or two? No doubt.
I mean, he could have been the world champion right now, but he almost doesn't even need it.
I think with what they're going with right now works for it and works for the fans that they have. Omega's obviously a clear choice to take it from Moxley, maybe Hangman from Kenny, MJF from Hangman. Like, I see that kind of being the charting flow currently.
I could definitely,
maybe
I
Cody,
can get down on that
if he ever somehow is able to challenge for it. Yeah, man, and they pointed out too, like, we just celebrated Jericho's 30 years, and MJF is only like 24, 25.
Yeah, unbelievable. He was born 5 years after Jericho started wrestling. What the fuck?
Like,
that's crazy.
That's insane. That's honestly insane to think about. And the ending to this match was just so fantastic. Wardlow and Jake Hager were not ringside.
Mm-hmm. They came out after the fact.
Well, of course. We had Wardlow give him the Dynamite Diamond ring. And he's going to go in for a hit. And the ref, she sees that, hey, Wardlow's out there. I got to go tell him, get out of here. Jericho dodges the Dynamite ring. And he gets Floyd the Bat from Jake Hager. MJF throws up the fingers, takes a bump.
And full-on Eddie Guerrero's
just full-on Eddie Guerrero's it. And it was Aubrey Edwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Aubrey Edwards, the best ref in the business.
And she turns around. What are you doing? You got the bat. This isn't a no DQ. Ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Apparently Aubrey Edwards is Irish for this one there. What are you doing there? You can't be using the stubby shillelagh.
Maybe. But nah, man. This was just, what are you looking up over there? There's a lot going on.
I'm designing the poster for Full Gear.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just for the people.
Just for the people.
Yeah. I mean, 3.5 out of 5, maybe even 4.
This was great.
Yeah, like how can you like?
And then at the end of the match when they're just like
they all embrace each other.
They embrace and they're just like, this is
MJF literally is like, he almost got me with that bat. Like he said something like that. You couldn't hear it, but the stare down between Hager and Wardlow.
Mm-hmm.
And Wardlow gets to join the inner circle too, just automatically.
Yeah, which I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I was always wondering. I was like, what's gonna happen to this man? I stand corrected. We did have another backstage segment.
We did? What
Orange
happened?
Juice.
Oh, yeah, that's when that happened. Okay. Yep.
And they're speaking. And we get Miro, Kip Sabian, and Penelope Ford. Miro, don't know what he was wearing.
Versace, baby.
It looks like
Looked
he had
expensive.
a haircut. It's not blonde anymore.
Yeah, I think it's just, that
he went for a Cody Rhodes. He said, Cody doesn't have it. But man, he pulled up, and I would say this is the best he's probably been so far.
Yeah.
He was like, don't slip with those shoes. Like, I don't even know. I usually don't really like him on the mic or the promos. He was pretty good right here.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I thought his match this week was pretty good, so he might be turning a little corner.
I think if he just went solo.
And I think that will happen eventually.
There'll be a big feud with him and Kip.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A buy-in.
A buy-in.
A buy-in.
On the next one. It will be interesting to see what's he doing on the next pay-per-view. Like, he didn't do anything on this one other than this.
Correct.
Revolution, February 27th.
Yeah. Kip pretty much tells Orange, like, hey, you got to apologize to my girl.
Like, you were rude to her on Dynamite this week.
And so he says sorry. Kip still slaps him, but he's like, no. Best friends, it's cool. Let's get out of here. And they just leave.
And everyone's just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We have the main event.
What
could you do to top off this show? Now, normally, DQ matches, whatever. I'm not, they're whatever to me.
No DQ matches and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, hey, an I Quit match where you push each other to the like extreme limits. This was it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were so many. Just what can I say about Kingston? Is he the best promo? I mean,
In wrestling,
when you really want to talk about like
he
the
might
best
be.
promo,
Yeah,
especially from this last week's episode,
yeah, I think he might be the best promo.
and John
wrestling.
Moxley, as much as I don't like him in the ring sometimes.
Oh, see, I love.
Yeah, his. Well, I was saying too. How many of his title defenses have been like Extreme Rules matches?
A lot.
Do you think that's good for a world title?
I think when you're the caliber of person he is, and also like how many of them have fit into the storyline.
That is true. Well,
Like
yeah.
this one especially, like it just like where else could this have gone?
You know, we got chairs. We had the thumbtacks. Isopropyl alcohol at one point.
Yeah, he threw Moxley through the thumbtacks and then poured him alcohol over his back. It was just like, damn. And
that's when the Doc was mentioned again.
Yeah, Doc Samson making a third appearance.
Samson is all elite.
He is all elite. And Kingston looks so cool in his gear tonight. He looked like a Power Ranger, but like in the coolest way possible.
Yeah, usually we kind of shit on his
gear because it's sometimes stupid. And
but tonight I was like,
tonight
hey,
it was not.
That's decent. Yeah, they mentioned it was for like a Japanese wrestler inspired, but I just got serious Power Rangers vibes.
Yeah, it was straight up Power Rangers, but I loved it.
Moxley goes over, hits him with like a barbed wire bulldog choke.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna say I quit, that is the time to say it.
Yeah, I was wondering how they were gonna get out of this without making Kingston look weak, by saying I quit. How can you? Yeah, I mean, how can you say that he was weak or anything? Like he was wrapped in barbed wire, and it was great, man. And then at the end of it, we had Kenny come out and face down John Moxley, and that's the match we're gonna get next. I don't think we're gonna have to wait 4 months for Revolution. Yeah, he did look a little bit like a bum.
I just think you know what?
Just keep the tights on all night. Just come on. You're coming out for another segment.
That's the thing. Like, who changes? Everybody always comes on their tights.
Yeah, come on.
What do you do? If you really want to pull in some ratings, do the world title match on an episode of Dynamite.
Yeah, in like a month. Promote it for the next month. Do like a weigh-in. Do a press conference. Do a face-to-face.
Because if Kenny's all serious now, it would kind of fit. It makes sense.
It would make so much sense. Yeah. You think you could build it? I think you could pull in 1 million viewers for that for sure. If you book it properly and you promote it well.
Give it a whole like 30-minute Iron Man match between them.
Oh, well, Kenny's already done a 30-minute Iron Man match. It's been a long night with Pac, and that was honestly, dude, one of the best matches I've ever seen. Like, amazing.
Well, I just think they've already had that extreme match from last year, which oh my,
yeah. Yeah, the one between those two last year was just brutal.
And if it's Moxley's MO to be part of these like kind of gimmicky matches, I think an Iron Man match would be sick between these two. I think because a big criticism of Dynamite is that the main event doesn't ever have enough time.
Yeah.
So why don't we give them a full 30 minutes? Hey.
Why don't we give them a full hour? A full hour of Dynamite.
Remember when NXT did that with Adam Cole and Finn Balor?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't just those two. It was the Fatal 4-Way with Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa,
Damn it. Sometimes NXT does good shit. But, hey, fuck them because AEW did it tonight. I mean,
AEW did some of the best shit of all time.
Whoa, I thought I heard some Birkin or something. Spooky.
Something spooky down here in the Capital Wrestling Cellar.
I mean, yeah, we had Moxley try to embrace Kingston. Kingston's like, nah, because he's going to be all stubborn and probably say he didn't quit or something. I don't know. Where do you think he goes from here?
That's a great question.
Who do you think is Moxley's next opponent? Brian Cage.
Kenny Omega.
Oh,
it's Kenny Omega.
Stupid. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We just set that all up.
I know.
Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, on the other hand.
TNT bound champion at one point?
Probably, but maybe with Team Taz, we could see a little something after. Team Taz has to finish up with Darby Allin first. But then what about Team Taz?
When are they going to? Because I thought they finished up months ago when that Ricky Starks Darby Allin match.
Which was great. Was really like kind of what like showed you like, oh man, maybe you can be a singles champion. Like,
would you be opposed to at the next pay-per-view? I mean, if they really wanted to build it up, they won't. But Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, Ricky Starks takes the title.
maybe you do a super episode of Dynamite in like a month with the Kenny and with the Omega and Moxley match, and then you do that on it, and then maybe you do Young Bucks FTR rematch.
See, and now I want Britt Baker to beat Hikaru Shida. So what? That's man. Oh man, there's so much fantasy booking for AEW right now.
Because like now, like things are like really heating up.
I think they're really heating up.
And you know, if AEW really like kind of does things the way that they always do things, they almost always have like someone debut at or right after a pay-per-view. At Double or Nothing, it was Brian Cage. At the Dynamite after
do we see
All
Pac
Out,
return
it was
this Wednesday?
Miro. We could see Pac return. We could see like someone big hit the women's division. We could see someone. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Ding.
Still.
Who's that?
But honestly, man, this to me was the best wrestling show of the year so far.
Can't disagree.
You know, there are other really strong contenders, and I know that we're living in it just happened a couple hours ago. We're just like finishing up with it, but I think that this was the best show of the year.
I just find it hard to believe that anybody can purely watch WWE over this and legitimately tell me like AEW is just complete shit.
No,
nothing is good on it. Like you can compare this to Hell in a Cell, which was about almost the same time. Wasn't Hell in a Cell? No, Hell in a Cell was like 4 hours, four and a half, wasn't
it? 3. It was 3, like 3:20 maybe, with the pre-show 3:35. Let's say.
I remember that one going really long.
It just felt longer because it was awful.
That's the thing. This was 9 matches tonight.
Yeah, and they all flowed. Like everything was great.
Yeah. What can I say? Overall, I mean an A+.
An A++, a 5-star show.
A 10 out of 10, really.
An absolute 10 out of 10. Like I can't even believe that like they put on a show this good because we were a little disappointed after All Out. There were some unfortunate things that happened. Matt Seidel's botch, the Matt Hardy incident, you know. The whole rest of the show just kind of like didn't feel right after that.
Yeah, and that was like the first, second, and third things
and
now, of the show.
And now this, you're just like, oh man, AEW is in like such a cool spot right now, and the
pacing felt right.
Oh my god,
everything just felt right.
And like we talked about,
almost no botches I felt tonight.
No,
I don't think I saw anybody.
The promos. Well, Joey Janela was on the show. Promos were amazing. All of the like, cut up edited segments were amazing. Like,
just
the sound mixing was good. The commentary was great. The camera work was good. What else can we say?
If this isn't bringing in fans from WWE, I really don't know what else could at this point. Like what is it that WWE
what are you guys looking for? Is it just that you're attached to the name? Is that what it is?
And just like the talent that's there?
Yeah.
I still agree that I believe WWE's, like, when you watch one of their shows, it just looks, like, better. I don't know if like, their cameras are high def or, like...
I mean, everyone's cameras are high def.
I know, but are they, like, HDDD or something? Like, what is going on?
H4D, like, they're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy style.
Yes. But, like... When you watch like Hell in a Cell, it looks really crisp and clean in how they do it. I don't know why. Maybe it's the atmosphere. Because I've always not really liked outside arenas anyway to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The lighting is always a little odd.
I think it's so cool here. And like we were saying,
it is cool.
I hope they come back here a lot. I hope this is like...
once
they can start touring in 7 to 9 years when COVID is over. I hope they come back here like this is their home base. Like, don't ever forget these times and how cool Daly's Place was to you.
Maybe they run their second show out of there.
Yeah, when you add your other programming on TNT or TBS or HBO Max or any of these rumored places it might go, maybe it ends up staying there exclusively, like in the long term. Like that would be super cool. Kind of like how NXT stays at Full Sail or now the Capitol Wrestling Center.
All right, well, do you want to sign us out of here and finish this up?
For Sell It, a pro wrestling show, I've been the G Dog, joined by
Brother D.
Vitamin
D. Stroke Daddy.
We really appreciate you listening. We will have multiple videos out this weekend. We will have...
Look for El Gran Flaco, a very devilishly handsome man hidden under a mask, unfortunately. I don't know why.
We will have the week review going live tomorrow.
Week review!
And can't wait for more stuff here. Lots of big moves. If you've somehow stayed with us for an hour here, we appreciate you.
Is that how long this is?
1 hour. 59 minutes and 35 seconds. So
man, I kind of want to get to the hour.
We're just going to stretch it out
No
for
one's going to hear this, so la 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 la.
No, that's okay.
Thank you for listening.
Legitimately, man, this show was so good.
To our show.
I'm so happy that it happened. I hope you've
had a good time. I hope your dreams grow. Oh, that can be our little song. We might need to make a little outro song for the people.
We're out.